in the mighty and powerful and triumphant words of Todd Beamer. Let's roll. With the 25th anniversary of the September 11th, 2001 terrorist attacks on the Twin World Trade Towers in New York City, on the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and Flight 93 in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, I have been doing a lot of reading about September 11th. I've also been watching a lot of documentary movies. I've been doing a lot of research on it on the internet. And here recently, I rewatched the 2006 motion picture directed by Paul Greengrass, who you guys might know from films like The Bourne Identity, The Bourne Supremacy, and The Bourne Ultimatum. United 93. Now that's the story about not only the fourth plane that crashed into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and what happened on that flight, but it also told the behind-the-scenes stories of the air traffic controllers and the people who were trying to get things rolling as far as the military, and also as far as trying to ground all airliners. That way they wouldn't have any more to worry about over the continental United States and elsewhere. And after rewatching that movie, I have some questions about how the movie began. I don't know if this was a creative decision or if this is how Paul Greengrass or the writers wanted to tackle the starting of this movie, but I don't like the way this film starts. Now, why, you ask? Because we should not see the terrorist hijackers in the film very first thing. I don't know why that decision was made. I have no clue as to what they were thinking, but the asshole murderers, the terrorists, the fucking Muslims, the fucking Arab Muslims, should not be shown until a certain point in the movie. They should not be shown very first thing. And how does the film open? Well, after the Universal logo and all the studio logos and everything, it opens on a black screen and you hear this voice. And it's not the English language, it's an Arabic language. Whatever the fuck it is that they speak over there in those Middle Eastern godforsaken countries. And then it opens up in this hotel room and we realize that we've opened up this movie on the fucking terrorists, the hijackers of United Flight 93. I mean, why? Why the fuck would you open a movie like that? Especially this movie, about something that's real and that's still raw in people's minds and hearts, because this movie was released in theaters in 2006. It opens on one, we see one of these assholes, he's got his hands like this, he's holding a book, he's reading out the fucking Quran. And then we hear him speaking something else, and we see another one come into frame, sort of, and says in his whatever the fuck it is, Arabic language, it's time. So they show these assholes, these murderers, these terrorists getting ready, to go to the airport. And we see them doing everything from shaving. I mean, one shot is one of the terrorists, he's nude and he's got his leg over the bathtub and he's cutting and shaving himself down there. Why is that necessary? We don't need to see that shit. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see these guys, period. And then it shows them doing their whole, when they lay out the mats and they go, and all that fucking shit. Um, no, no, we shouldn't see that. That is not how you open a movie like this. And shame on Paul Greengrass for opening the film like this. And I hope the families of the United 93 victims, came after Paul Greengrass and the creators of this movie about that, because looking back on this film now, that is not how they should have opened this film. Like I said, we should not even see these motherfuckers until a certain point in the movie. Here's how I would have opened the film. Okay, maybe keep it on a dark screen and show the title, United 93, and then maybe we open on sunrise in New York City. And we see the sun coming up over the city, and we see it glistening off the beautiful windows of the Twin World Trade Towers. Maybe we see from like looking down at street level. There is a shot like that in the beginning of the film, which I like. It looks like it's looking directly down, like you're looking off of a building down on street level, and it looks like it's Times Square. And maybe you show the passengers, the people who boarded United 93, maybe the flight attendants, the pilots getting ready. Maybe they're at the airport. Maybe you see the people who were on the flight leaving their hotel rooms. They're getting to the airport, checking in, waiting at the gate, things like that. You open the movie like that. Not on these motherfuckers. No, don't follow these fuckers. That's not what this film should be about. It should be about those heroes who decided, all right, we're not going to let this plane go crash into the White House or the Capitol building. No. They're the ones who stood up and said, we're not going to let this happen. We're going to fight back against these motherfuckers and kill them if we have to. And then we'll worry about landing the plane somewhere safe, once we kill these guys or get these guys subdued. But yeah, ever since I watched it just the other day, I thought, why did he open the movie like this with these assholes? Maybe you bring them in like later on after you show all the other passengers of United 93 and the pilots and the flight attendants, getting on board or getting ready to board, and you see them. I tell you, the first time you should show them is going through security, because that should be a focal point in the movie of how security missed what these guys were carrying on their person. So you have a shot, you got one of the fuckers going through security, and you go through the metal detector thing, then get the wand down thing, whatever. Yeah, that should be the first time you show them. But after you've opened the movie and shown maybe establishing shots of New York City, maybe an establishing shot of Washington, D.C., or the White House, or even the Pentagon, or maybe the sun coming up over that field in Pennsylvania that United 93 would ultimately end up in. Or maybe even get a quick shot of the President George W. Bush, the motorcade heading to the school in Sarasota, Florida. Something different. Don't open it on the bad guys, the terrorists, the fuckers, the fucking Arab Muslims. No. You don't open a film like this, about an event like this, the way it's portrayed in this movie. Shame on you, Paul Greengrass, for doing that. I mean, is it a good movie? Oh, it's a great movie. It is a fantastic film that shows the behind-the-scenes things that went on that day, and how every level of security we thought we had failed at every turn, and how ultimately these 40 strangers, sat down on this airplane, thinking they were going home or going on a business trip or whatever, coming back from vacation or whatever, to see them sit down as strangers and to unite as one and to stand up as one and say, okay, we're going to take these fuckers down. We're going to either subdue them or we're going to kill them. We're going to get this plane back under control, and we're going to land somewhere safely, if at all possible. We are not going to let this plane hit the White House. We're not going to let this plane hit the Capitol building or possibly somewhere else. Because when they were showing scenes of the passengers talking to their loved ones, the loved ones on the other line were telling them, you gotta, something has to be done. They've already hit the World Trade Center, both towers. They've hit the Pentagon, and so, most of the uh, people on the ground who were talking to their loved ones on United 93 were saying, try to retake the plane. Don't let it, hit something else. So I just, like I said, I'm not saying I don't like the movie. No, no, no. That's not what I'm saying. I love this film. I think it's a great film. I think it's actually better than Oliver Stone's World Trade Center movie. Now, I do like that one too, but this one has better, I think it's got better rewatchability. And even though the actors and people are really unknown in this film, I just think this film flows better. But I don't appreciate how the writers, the creators, the director, Paul Greengrass, I don't appreciate how you opened this film. Shame on you. You should have come up with a better opening to celebrate the heroes on board United Flight 93. And as we come up upon the 25th anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks, I'm just going to say, God bless America. I love this country. I love this state. I hope we never have to experience anything like this again, but I do wish that this country was as united as we were on September 12th, 2001, because right now our country is really divided, and I'd never, ever, ever, ever wish another 9/11 on our soil ever again. But I just wish we were just more united as a country than what we are at this particular moment in our history. Uh, Especially being at the 250th anniversary of our country, the great United States of America. So before I leave you guys, please join me in a moment of silence as we remember those heroes on board United Flight 93. So please join me in a moment of silence. God bless all the victims of the September 11th, 2001 terror attacks. Be with their families, loved ones, and friends. And with that being said, I'm going to say thank you all so much for watching. Good night. God bless. I love all of you, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.